Hey guys, it's Core Ross and welcome to 6 News. So today we have the mid-season balancing. So this is the Year 6 Season 3.3 designer notes. So in here is all the big changes and the rework to Kapkan. That is a surprising one, but actually very simple. So let's start with the usual balancing graphs. So up here we have the attackers. I think from my very amateurish opinion, this is actually looking quite good. Very good collection of operators in the middle here. And we've obviously got a few that are still kind of up here in the too strong area, but it doesn't look like it's that bad. I can understand why people are playing Yana. I think she's awesome with the gun 6 and just so good right now. But interesting to see Twitch up here above Ash as well. And Sledge and Ash roughly on the same point here, with Ace still managing to win more games, but with Yana actually taking the lead overall as the best attacker. And of course, down here we've got Glaz, Kali, and Monty, which is unfortunate. But honestly, this isn't looking too bad. Interesting to see Finka pushing up into the win radio here, but not actually getting picked much as well. So maybe she's a bit underestimated right now for most players. And we've also got Osa here, so she seems to be actually really balanced right now. That is cool to see. Let's move on to defenders. As usual, they're a bit more spread out. Jaeger still working here overtime, beating most games in ranked on PC, Platinum and above. We can see Mozzie here, Valkyrie. We've got a good selection of defenders here, not doing too bad. A big collection down here. Of course, we've got Clash, Chanka, and Castle down here not doing well at all. But interesting to see our trap operator is actually not doing so great this season. Oryx is winning quite a few games, not getting picked much, but he's there. And yeah, that is kind of an interesting one. There's not much I'm taking away from that defender graph. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And we'll move past the bans. It's pretty much kind of what you'd expect. Although also actually managing to pop in there, which is kind of curious. And then on defense, again, what you would expect from usual. Now we move down to the operator balancing, and I would say the first one right here, very surprised by this. So they're actually giving Castle another Castle Barricade, which makes sense. He's not getting picked much, he's not getting played much, and he's not doing great. But they've actually reduced the melee hits it takes to actually destroy armor panels, which sucks because it's already pretty easy to get past a Castle Barricade. So it's going down to 9 melee instead of 12, which is quite a reduction. So yeah, that sucks. But I guess if you're a player that comes up against Castle Barricades and doesn't like them, that is probably a good change for you. So they say here this is targeted toward casual and top ranked, and that Sledge is a very good counter towards Castle. So by giving him an extra one, they feel that that'll be less of an issue, which is weird because Sledge can literally just go through 4 in a row real quick without any hassle. So I don't know if giving him one more is going to help. And usually you're going to have, what, one castle between the attackers and the objective. Usually you're not going to potentially double them up that much. So we'll see. Well, they do say by giving them an extra castle, they want castle operators to actually go and set up kind of more complicated defenses and stuff like that. So maybe we will see things change there. I think we still need something like basically a cat flap in these castle barricades where defenders can get through them or something like that. So you can start doubling them up on corridors and things and just make it a bit more interesting. This, I'm not sure is going to do much. I would imagine for a castle main, this is probably bad rather than good. But I'm curious, if you're a castle main, what do you think about that? Now, another weird change, and this one is kind of awesome and extraordinarily odd. But on Clash, what they're doing is they're taking away her pistol and giving her this super shorty, which is weird. I can't imagine not taking that SMG, even for a fun little shotgun. But I could definitely see it being cool for setting up your defenses in the objective and then going full shield later on and not really pulling out your gun at all, I would guess, because that super shorty does not have much range. But I don't know. I could see some really interesting plays with Clash with the super shorties. So I don't know. This is a weird one, but I'm actually kind of interested to see how this plays out and how people's tactics change with that. So very odd. But let's talk about Kapkan. So Kapkan is getting a rework, and it's not kind of how I thought maybe it would go, but they give an example picture here with just Kapkans on this door and window. So what they've done is allow you to place multiple Kapkans. Now they're not giving you this many Kapkans, but this is an example of how they will fit onto doors and how they'll double up on windows. It's a weird change. It's a good one. People have asked for this, and it's going to be very handy, and I could definitely see it working out quite well. But of course, if an attacker comes up to a door and notices, they're going to be able to take out two of your devices where they might, potentially walk over another one later. So it's going to suck, but of course you can put all on one door. So yeah, this is weird, but cool, and I like it. But yeah, the main thing here is this brings back the potential for Kapkan to actually be lethal on a single door. But it would mean using up most of your Kapkan traps. But I don't know, I kind of still like the idea of spreading them out over a larger area than going and doubling up on doors. But if I did set up and I had one left, then why not double up? So this might actually work out really well. It's an interesting change to say the least, and this picture is awesome. But yeah, I'm curious to try that on a test server and see exactly how it works, because it could be quite an interesting change. I do like playing Kapkan, and I definitely think I'll double up on at least one door per round with this setup. Another change down here is Melusi. So they're going to be adding a bulletproof camera, removing the nitro cell. So this is all that's happening. So it's just a quick little swap out of secondary gadgets. And yeah, whatever. I don't know if that's going to have a massive... So yeah, that won't have a massive change, but certainly players might be hating the fact they're going to lose a nitro cell. But other players might love the fact they can get more intel with a bulletproof cam. Especially, setting up in a corridor or something like that with her gadget might work out quite well with the bulletproof cameras. Then we've got Oryx actually getting a nice little buff here. So his dash is actually going to cool down quicker. It's going to cool down in 8 seconds instead of 12. So that is really good, but nothing major. Like, that's not going to change his pick rate or anything, but it is definitely going to be handy for people playing Oryx, being able to dash that little bit quicker. So yeah, I'll definitely take that as a little buff. Now, Wamai actually might be getting the most significant change here. So they're increasing the amount of magnets to 6. It was previously 4. Sounds like it's still the same recharge, so it's going to take you a very long time to actually get 6. But that is a major buff, and I love it. We're also going to be seeing a reduced range in the magnet system down to 3.5 meters. It was previously 5 meters. That's significantly smaller, but I think it's still probably big enough considering how easy they are to place in very specific positions. So that is awesome all round for Wamai. The nerf and range kind of sucks, but getting 2 more I think is way better. However, I would still love to see the actual recharge rate quickened overall. So we'll see if they do any tweaks to that. And then we have weapon balancing. So Alibi's MX4 Storm is getting an increase in recoil. I'm amazed that they put the 1.5x scope on this gun in the amazing state that it already was, and I've been using it tons since then because I freaking love this weapon. And you can see the old recoil here, that's the current recoil, and what will be coming, and you can see it's significantly more spread out. So it looks like the horizontal isn't that bad, but the vertical of course has been pulled up quite considerably. Then we've got the Roni. So the Roni, look at that recoil, that is mental. It is getting increased as well. It is still looking really freaking good. Like, obviously I would say it's kind of on par with the MX4 Storm pre-nerf than even close to this. So that's pretty good recoil still, and this is just insane how good it actually is right now. But that is some significant nerfs to these two weapons. So yeah, recoil wise, that is going to hurt quite a few players I think, and definitely piss off a lot of players. But look at this was just too good. I remember seeing lots of people complaining about it. Not me personally, because I never actually used the Roni, but yeah, it is incredibly tight. But yeah, that's it now. So moving on, there's one last thing, which is gadget balancing here, and it is a change to the hard breach charge. And they're going to give people 2 of them instead of 1. So Monty, Buck, Fuse, Capital, Amaru, Nuke, Ying, and Zero are now getting 2 hard breaching charges, which is awesome and scary at the same time. So yeah, I can't really say anything else other than that's kind of incredible. I remember when this came out, people were super worried that it would just completely replace hard breachers. Now we're getting 2 of them for those operators. So again, That'll be an interesting thing to actually see in proper gameplay, and it should be relatively powerful, I think, because sometimes I am kind of thinking, do I take one or take the other thing, because I only get one of them. Now that I get two, I'm definitely going to be super tempted to bring it along. So yeah, hard breach charge getting buffed. But that's it, guys. Let me know what you think. Of course, this will go out in the test server. I'll probably be there for at least a couple of weeks. We will probably also see some tweaks as well. And let me know what you think of this Kapkan rework, being able to stack up your Kapkans. I think it could do with a bit more work, like maybe making the Kapkans actually physically smaller or something like that. But right now I feel like Kapkan traps are quite weak overall, although I do like playing Kapkan quite a bit, and I'll usually take them like midway through a match to get potentially more hits off with these traps. But sometimes, of course, you can go through an entire match and no one sets your traps off. So doubling them up on the windows or doors might be totally useless. So I'll just have to wait and see and play with this on the test server. But anyway, guys, this mid-season patch is coming to the test server today. It'll probably be there for like 2 weeks. There probably will be tweaks, and I'll of course be making actual gameplay videos, testing all this stuff and seeing how it plays out. But thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you next time.